Hello students, welcome to this video for stage one. You're part of a special group. In that, I'm going to offer you a redo, if you will. I'm here to see that I can help you succeed in this class. Um, there were a number of students whose grades on the stage one submission were um, not all that good. So what I want to try to do is offer you a redo. I will go through the problem areas. I'm not going to name names, but what I will do is go through the things that I found, and I will then, um, tell you the correct way to do it. And should you choose to redo your your assignment, your stage one, I will regrade it. And you have an opportunity that way to raise your grade for that assignment. Now, I'll try to make this clear. This is only looking at stage one. As you probably already know, this lays the groundwork for the other three assignments that follow it, meaning your stage one paper will be expanded on. Stage two will add more, stage three will add more, and so will stage four. So it's important to get the first one right. So having said that, I'm just going to go ahead and begin. Um, there were what confused me was I think maybe you started late or hurried through this assignment, maybe thinking it was easier than it was. But a lot of the issues were not following the layout that um, the instructions gave you. So that was an issue. Though that's part of the grade. If you look at the rubric, you'll see in there that, you know, if you stray from the assignment, you'll get points deducted. So the the first thing is you do have a cover page, and it's very well laid out in here. Let me look here. Yeah, what should go on the cover page? Yeah, a title page is what it says. So these are the items and that go on the title page. These and only these. So the formatting for this, for the title page, should be fairly clear. Um, these items need to be centered on the page. Centered left and right should be in the middle, and centered top to bottom should be in the middle again. All right, so that's that part of it. Then you go to the next page before you put the introduction. You need to be aware that you're going to have introduction show at the top of page 2, not the title page, which is page 1. So you have a separate page there that says introduction. Now you go back up here and it tells you what to put in the introduction, if you will. Whoops, I'm sorry. Let me scroll down and make sure that there we go. Here's the introduction. And this tells you what should go in the introduction. This and only this. All right. So, and this is the only time that you're going to have built the instruction. The same for the other sections. You're going to do strategic use of technology, this Roman numeral 1 over here, the business strategy, competitive advantage, strategic objectives, and so on and so forth. All right, so let's step through these things. Oh yeah, when you're doing the introduction at the top of page 2, make sure it's left justified, make sure it's bold-faced. You'd be surprised how many didn't do that. And then the contents, I think that's pretty straightforward. I didn't see, huge problems there. The biggest thing that I saw was you need to lay out what's going to come in the final report, not just the stage one assignment. So you're going to tell the reader that you'll have um, sections for strategic use of technology, whatever the other ones are. You'll have to look in the assignments, but um, this is the first one. Yeah. So go ahead and look in the other assignments for the other headings that you'll use to tell them what's coming in the completed report. Because by the time you get done with assignment 4, you'll have 4 sections. Section 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. All right, so let's go through the business strategy, and I'll tell you what I found in there. And these are, I'm not picking on anybody, any one person. A lot of the things that I'm bringing up will have appeared in more than one submission. Again, the headings should be bold-faced. All right. And this one, as you can see, it's telling you that you need to describe MTC's business strategy. And you'll pull that from the case study. Not word for word, but just enough to make it, it's really supposed to be one paragraph. All right. Section B is competitive advantage. If you've never studied competitive advantage, you really ought to use a resource for that. Again, this is part B. It should be bold-faced, and then what follows is not bold-faced. It's just regular font. You need to go to the case study and look at MTC's competitive environment. Put in a sentence or two about what their competitive environment looks like. This should be, the competitive advantage should be one paragraph. That's what the instructions are telling you. And it shouldn't be 4 to 5 sentences. It shouldn't be a book, but it should be more than one sentence. Font selection varied. Really what the instructions tell you, and this is farther on down, and we'll get to that before the end of this video, but you have a selection. You shouldn't just take the default that comes with your word processor, which for most of you will be Microsoft Word. I'll just go through, I'll run through them really, really quick. You can choose 11-point Calibri, 11-point Arial, 10-point Lucida Sans Unicode, 12-point Times New Roman. You won't believe how many used 11-point Times New Roman, which is not correct. The other two, the final two, are 11-point Georgia or 10-point Computer Modern. I'm gonna pause here for just a sec. Okay, so in case you don't know, I assume most of you do, but in case you don't know, you can change the font all the way up here at the top in the home section and in the font group. So if you click this little down arrow, you get a whole bunch of them that you can select from. So again, only choose the ones that are in the instructions. So that is competitive advantage. I think that's enough on that one. Strategic objectives. All right. This is where students had a lot of problems. I had students that copied and pasted this table from the instructions into their assignment, which is what's supposed to happen. All right. The way you do that, to select the entire table, you go up here in the corner and just click there, and then you do a copy, go over to your assignment, and click insert or paste. Now, what I found was there were some of you that went ahead and copied the table, but you replaced everything that was in the table. That's not what's supposed to happen. The entire table is supposed to be pasted into your submission file. The exception to that is, and some of you didn't do this, but you should have. The exception is this right here. This is telling you that you need to, this is an example, these three sections right here is an example of what you should be doing in these other sections. So whatever text you see in this table should stay in this table. Don't overwrite it, don't erase it. The areas where you're supposed to put in your original ideas are these cells and these cells down here. The only adjustment you're supposed to make is select this and press the delete key so you get rid of this red text. Some of you didn't do that. So that's that's a point deduction. Let's see here. Other than that, most of you did pretty well. It's just the formatting that you got caught up on. All right. The next section is decision making. And again, it's a copy and paste. It's a copy and paste of this table from the instructions into your assignment. And where you fill in stuff is the blank cells right here. You can go to you can find these levels in the course content. There's readings in there for, I forget if it is week 1 or week 2, but anyway, it's the study materials, and you'll find a pyramid picture with the appropriate levels. I'm not going to tell you what they are. You have to go look them up. Then an example of a possible decision. Now, here's the thing. These possible decisions supported by the hiring system. All right, it's very specific. It's telling you exactly what it wants you to do. So a decision example, and it shows you, it gives you an example right here. The CEO decides to expand MTC's services to include cybersecurity. And I noticed a lot of you copied and pasted that. Oh, okay. I didn't take points off for that. That's fine. But the other two, you're going to need to come up with something original. All right. Now, the other issue was that over here in this right-hand column, you're actually supposed to use that to provide an example of the information coming from the hiring system that could provide to support your example decision, which is in this cell. So they're tied together, right? Just make sure that this one here refers to the hiring system, which we haven't built yet. Yeah, hang on just 1 minute. Let me take a look. Yeah, the decision column, those are supposed to be very specific, not general. It is a choice or a conclusion that managers might make about business operations or future planning. So it gives you, what you need to do to fill that in. All right. Formatting. Formatting, I noticed was probably a challenge for a lot of you. I didn't see anybody having a problem with third person. That's pretty straightforward. In other words, you don't want to put in these pronouns. Third person, Yes, you need to use third person. You don't want to use first person, which is these right here. Third person makes the writing objective, as this says. So don't use those first person pronouns is all. Let's see. Okay, the title page, I've already gone through that. This is kind of a rundown, if you will. So these are important. Write a short paper. It's really only supposed to be 4 pages. I don't know if you knew that. That's not counting the title page or the reference page. All right, so what the stage 1 assignment is only supposed to be 4 pages. Content areas should be double spaced. I want to hit this one slowly. Table entries should be single spaced. A lot of you did get that right, but I wanted to show you something, which is how to determine whether or not you have double spaced it correctly. And the way you do that is you go up in, not there, home. You go in the home group and you click on this arrow by paragraph. Now, it opens up a window that shows you how you've got your settings for what's showing on the page. Okay? And this is, I'm not really sure, but I don't, yeah, let's do this. There. It depends on where you have your cursor. So I'm going to use this paragraph as the example. All right. This is perfect. This is the way that it should look. And I want you to kind of learn how to do this, because I saw a lot of things that were not compliant. To be compliant, here I saw where some of you had spacing set this way. Some of you had multiple set, which, and don't add space. None of those are the way that it should be set up. It should be set up as 0 point before and after. It should be set up as double spacing, and you uncheck that one. As far as the indentation is concerned, if you want to use paragraph indentation, that is fine. You can use it in the body of the paper. Don't use it in the tables. The tables, the paragraphs in the tables should not be indented. All right. So that's how you do it. You'd be surprised at how many students have never seen this. What? Yeah, you need to learn this. It's a quick trick, but it gives you the results that you want. So I canceled that one. Let's see here. Next comes research. Where are we going? There we go. Okay, here's your guidelines for the research. You're supposed to use at least 2 resources. One should be from an external reference, and one should be from course content. All right, so that's a class reading content. You don't use the assignment instructions, or don't use the case study. Don't refer to either of those 2. So if you are uncertain how to do APA formatting, this is where you go. Okay, it's in content, course resources, writing resources, and APA formatting is right here. So it's pretty easy. Once you get the hang of it, it's not hard to do, but it's what you're graded on in the references page. So if you just kind of throw some stuff in there and don't follow the APA format that you've been given, you'll lose points. Okay, anything in your references list needs to be an in-text citation. Again, if you don't know what that means, go here, and it'll show you what an in-text citation is. Oh, the reference page is something that you will build on with each of the four assignments. So you're going to continue this on. It'll end up being more than one page, more than likely, because you're going to have four assignments. What else was there? Oh yeah, it's buried in here, so you may not have seen it. Title page, stage 1. Let's see. Double spaced, tables, 2 resources. Okay. Reference page. Okay, is it in the reference? Strategic decision making. Research. Well, I thought for sure that there would be a statement in here that says you're not supposed to use a resource that comes from a blog or from Wikipedia or discussion groups. So I do kind of real quickly, I focus on those things because that's really not research. I mean, it's somebody's opinion, and it hasn't been vetted as a reference. So be careful with that. And that's it, except for this big long list of formatting. So I'll just go through them. I'll just bring this over and I'll show it to you. Okay. Tables are only supposed to use single spacing in the header row. That's self-evident, I would think. Don't put blank lines between the major sections or the headings. So the headings, that's the sections in your stage 1 assignment. There's headings. There's 4 headings. Don't put blank lines after them. That just takes up it's wasted space. All right. So again, I talked to you about what has to go on the title page. Running headers are they're not part of this. This is not like I don't know. It's not a research assignment that requires running headers, so don't use them. Here's line spacing for the body of your paper. That includes the title page. It should be double spaced, which I showed you how to do. Here's your list of correct fonts, how to build your title page. Do not use graphics. Don't stick in any shapes or added what they call embellishments, which is colored, and it doesn't belong, and you'll lose points for that. Content areas, I did tell you about this. All right, so here we are. This is at the end of what I wanted to tell you. It's up to you. If you want to go back and revise stage 1 according to the information that I just gave you, please do. Make sure that you get it done such that I have time to regrade everything. So I'll put a deadline on this of Saturday night. That gives you some time over the weekend to revise. If you actually, let's do this. I just realized that Monday is a federal holiday. So I will go ahead and I will say, let's say midday Sunday, which would be noon. Noon Sunday. If you turn it in after that, I won't regrade it because, I need the extra time. Um, at any rate, uh, based on the information that I've shared with you in this video, you should be able to raise your grade. And that's the goal here. I want you to succeed. And not only that, this information you can carry forward in general to the other three stages. It lays the groundwork for you being successful with those assignments as well. If you have specific questions on anything in this video, I want you to send me an email or put it in the Ask Your Professor. I, I, I ask students not to use the classroom chat. It's kind of fun and it's neat for real quickies, but um, it doesn't tie back to the original information. Like for example, when I when I put out the um, announcements about discussions, I use email, and if you respond to me in the chat, I don't know, it's just disconnected and it's very difficult to use. So please don't use the chat to contact me. If you want to do it for, talking amongst yourselves, that's perfectly fine. Again, good luck. I hope this helps. I want you to succeed. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.